Hey guys, what's up? This is Comic Confidential, the weekly podcast where we bring you all the comic-related news, and we'll also break down all the top moments on all the DC and Marvel TV shows. I'm your host, Cade, and alongside me today is Amy.
Hello, hello, hello.
It's like one of your final weeks here.
Yeah, I got to do a big run.
Yeah, why are you doing that?
I don't know. I ask myself that every day.
You are sick in the head.
I am.
Like, you're doing this just for fun.
Just for shits and gigs.
And no one's making you do it.
No. I'm too far in now.
You're too far in. You're too committed.
Too committed. I'm just going to nap for 3 weeks afterwards.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah,
I am not
probably
going to
will happen.
deny you that that glorious, I guess, reward for what you're doing.
Yeah, chicken nuggets and naps.
Oh, that's the best way.
Yes,
That's the best way to spend a day. Mm-hmm. So let's get into the news.
Let's.
Doctor Strange, it has been released, and get this fucking movie apparently has got the perfect score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course it does.
Of course it does, because seeing this actually makes me think there might be a conspiracy against DC.
Probably.
Like, I always thought it was a little bit bullshit, but
I think you're onto something.
yeah. You know, like, I thought there was a lot of like crazy people out there on the internet saying, you know, Rotten Tomatoes have something against DC.
But all of the latest DC movies have had shit Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Yeah, exactly. And now this comes out, and I think it got 99% or some shit.
Bullshit. That's ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. That is something is going on there to just like kind of stick it to
Someone's
DC.
hacking in and just destroying
Has
DC's
to
rep.
be. Has to be. But the thing is, Rotten Tomatoes, their scores are kind of like generated from collecting other scores of reviewers.
Sort of like a cumulative.
Yeah. So it's like an average. So that means nearly everyone is giving this movie the best movie ever.
I'm so excited to see it, actually.
Yeah, so am I. It's out now, and we haven't seen it. And the reason we are rookies, but the reason we haven't done a review or anything on this yet is because the States got it a week later than us. So
Yeah. We're waiting for you.
cutting out half our market.
Yeah.
It's foolish. Donald
Yes.
Trump would not be happy with that.
He'd say some terrible phrase sentences and he would not be happy.
He would not. So Thor Ragnarok has actually completed its filming.
Yay!
So now we're going to be getting some sweet trailer action shortly.
I'm so keen.
I reckon we're probably 3 months away from getting the trailer for that.
Yeah.
At least
probably.
a teaser.
Surely a teaser. What's the... maybe like New Year, Christmas time?
Yeah, that's
We'll
what I'm
get
thinking.
something?
Like the Christmas period where everyone's, you know, they're off work, they're at home.
They want to go and watch movies.
They want to go and watch movies. So this will be the perfect time to just slip that in there.
Yep.
So I'm really effing excited for that.
Same these.
So it's going to be like a lot different
To the previous.
to the other previous Thor movies because they haven't been the most successful.
No, I like them though.
I like them.
Yeah.
And for me, I really hate, I guess it's like a medieval scene, but I can totally get into the Thor movies because it kind of marries it in between. Mm-hmm. And like their magic is almost like a science. So.
Yeah, very true. It's got a lot of background to it as well. It's
It
not just
does.
like, here's my magic.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really looking forward to those trailers coming out, and I have a feeling that there'll be like an end credit scene in Doctor Strange that will really lead into it
I
because
was like, what else is coming out that they can put that in?
Yeah.
Idiot.
But there was this like still captured from the set from Brisbane when they were filming there, and Chris Hemsworth, aka Thor, aka Dreamboat.
Hashtag Dreamboat.
Hashtag Dreamboat. He had a card that had Stephen Strange's address on it.
Yeah,
so,
we said that. Yeah.
yeah, I reckon that's how they're kind of going
tie it
to
in.
marry into each other. Mm-hmm. Did you know, Amy, I saved you from watching The Walking Dead.
I know.
And
I thank you for it.
But you still went and watched the death scene.
Yeah, and I regretted it immediately.
Yeah.
I was like, hell no, and I shut that off real quick.
So what we did this week is I had a friend call in, Elliot. He is the world's biggest Walking Dead fan. And we did...
Two ends of the spectrum.
Two ends of the spectrum, yeah. Because I was thinking, I don't think Amy would actually enjoy talking about X, Y, and Z's heads getting bashed in. So,
oh, a shudder.
Yeah. It was intense.
It was so bad. And I don't know the characters, but my heart was hurting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
No, I feel you on that. And so what we did is I released just a pure Walking Dead episode. It's only a short one. I think it goes for about 20 minutes. So
Nice.
check that out if you guys actually haven't downloaded that yet. And on the whole Walking Dead thing, there's been a lot of controversy about the level of violence in that.
And there's been a lot of memes that I've seen just about...
So many memes.
I pretty much knew what happened before I watched the summary, just from the sheer amount of memes and Facebook stories and people. Like, they always warn for spoilers, but I'm like, fuck that, I'm going to read it anyway.
Well, I guess, if you're not like committed to the show, you might as well check it out.
That's right. And it was gruesome. I will agree. But I don't know. I feel like that show has been very gruesome before.
Yeah.
So,
well, what I said on the other episode was, I think the problem people have with this is that it's a character that they've seen for 7 seasons and you've just lost them.
OG.
Yeah, is he? Yeah, absolutely OG. I think he was in the first episode. Yeah. If not the first, it was definitely the second. So
yeah, when that would shatter people.
Yeah, exactly. And like the thing that people don't like about that, in my opinion, is that they didn't have control of it.
Yeah, everyone always gets sad when a big name character, not even, doesn't have to be the biggest name character, but someone who they've been committed to for so long isn't going to be there anymore. It's like, it shakes people's worlds.
It really does. So, yeah, I think that's my answer, is that people are just shocked that their character is gone.
Yeah.
I don't think the episode was stupidly violent, like over the top, that it had to be super censored for TV, because I don't watch Game of Thrones. But I'm sure that is like, you get that level of like grotesque
and
violence.
I like Game of Thrones and I watch Game of Thrones, and I still struggle with the violence in that.
Really?
Yeah.
And is it on that same level?
Yeah, there are some, definitely. I know episodes that I'm thinking of in my head that would be. So,
well, there you go. And I don't know if like the internet blew up about that.
No, the internet loves Game of Thrones.
Yeah, see? And like they always kill off like main characters, don't they?
Oh, yeah. I've seen a photo, it's like someone's tagged the books where someone dies.
Yeah.
And it's just, they're full of sticky notes just everywhere. Yep. So many characters die. But people do get sad over any sort of, like we were saying, death that is an invested character.
Yeah.
So, meh. Anyway.
That's fair enough. So basically, a lot of the news this week is all about reviews Walking Dead and Doctor Strange. So I don't really want to cover all of that because we're about to release a Doctor Strange episode. And I
already did a Walking Dead?
Already did a Walking Dead. So you guys are really kind of up to date. That's going to bring us to the weekly Raptor segment where we wrap up the top moments from all the week's TV shows. And of course, because we've already done The Walking Dead, we're going to start off with Supergirl.
Dun, dun, dun. That's right. So top moment number 1 from this week's episode. Alex Danvers and new cop on the block, Maggie Sawyer, team up. So there's a little bit of a cop? Would you call Alex a cop? I don't know.
You call it like alien cop.
Alien cop, badass alien cop.
Actually, what is her level?
I don't know. Well, she pretends to be a Secret Service agent, so it must be higher than that.
Has to be higher than that, because like, why would you? Yeah, exactly.
Why would you be something lower? Higher.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. Anyway, she teams up with a new character who we meet for the first time, Maggie Sawyer, and she is awesome. Yeah. I loved her.
She is like... She's operating well above her pay grade here.
Yeah, she's just like a normal, regular street cop. And she introduces Alex to the alien bar. I don't know if it ever had a name. Did we see a name?
No, I don't think it did. Well, it was pretty secretive. I think they even just rock up in there. They don't show an entrance or anything like that.
There's just a seedy door and a little bit of a password, and then they're in. Anyway, so we see the alien bar where pretty much aliens can come and be themselves, which is awesome. And it was really sort of refreshing to see a little bit more of Alex by herself, I think. She always sort of is just mixed in with everybody.
Yeah.
So.
And what I thought was interesting is like she's super stuck up.
Yeah.
To the max.
Yep.
She gets into this place and she instantly just like wants to arrest
everyone.
Pull
her gun out. I'm like, fuck.
I'm like, come on, dude. That's probably not the best thing to do when you're surrounded by superpowered aliens.
Yeah, and the thing is, she is exposed to aliens all the time.
Yeah.
So why would her first response be, well, I guess she's seen her fair share of bad aliens, but like her sister is an alien and pull her gun out anyway. I don't know. But these two make a really sweet team, and later on in the episode, we actually see them sort of battle it out against a crazy lady who shoots fire out of her eyes and hands and everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah. So
stay away from chilly nights. God damn it, girl.
Tuesdays.
All right, let's move on to top moment number 2, and that is Mon-El awakens. So a bit of animosity between Kara and Mon-El over the planetary rivalry.
Yeah, from way back when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we learn is like Kara's planet blows up and then kind of heads over to his place and
destroys
that from all the rubble. So
yeah.
You kind of see him like escape.
Yeah, but he's in a Kryptonian pod, I guess.
Yeah.
That's not really explained.
That
either.
isn't explained. So they must have shared technology.
Surely.
That's what I'm thinking. Because if they were like sister planets, you would think they would have a trade system going on.
Yeah, and I guess they weren't the best of friends, but I think they say the war must have started somewhere, so they must have been friends before that. But anyway, those two don't really like each other at the start of the episode.
Yeah, well, that's right. And well, as I say, Kara does explain what happens to Daxam, and they kind of end up being semi-friends.
Yeah,
like Kara tracks him down. He just wants to be left alone.
Yeah, he's trying to get home, essentially.
Yeah.
Bit of an ET moment.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Such a good wavelength today.
Yeah, we're killing it. Yeah, he's kind of like jumped into the big radio telescope.
Yeah, the observatory.
Observatory?
Tower?
Was it an observatory?
Well, I don't know. I thought so.
Yeah, maybe. I couldn't actually tell. I just know he was like using some fancy gear.
Yeah.
Mind you, Kara busts in through the wall of that place, and it's just like, dude, that place is probably worth millions.
And isn't it like open to the sky or something? Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, just fly through there.
Yeah. No, she's not the brightest.
But by the end of the episode, I feel like there's a little bit of chemistry going on.
Definitely. Something's going to happen there.
Has to, because they got rid of her other love interest, Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, that's right. Well, he's still there, but they're just like super good friends now.
That is so weird.
I know. It is a bit sort of two sides of a coin.
Yeah.
There was no in between. They're just like, we're going to be friends.
Yeah, and he's
now
like,
they are.
I'm your boss. Killer.
Yeah. Cool. That was really good. Anyway, we'll move on to the next top moment, which was top moment number 3. POTUS arrives, which is President of the United States.
Amy had to explain that to me like 18 times. I'm like, what the fuck is POTUS?
Anyway, best part about this is she is fucking Wonder Woman.
Yes.
How cool was that?
That was really rad, actually.
I really liked that they used her in this. And I guess we'll be seeing her again because we sort of learned that she's trying to introduce some sort of pro-alien agenda, which would see aliens being able to live amongst humans. But I guess some aliens aren't real happy with that because they see it as a bit of a registration type thing. A little bit of what happens in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., I guess. Sort of that kind of wavelength.
Mind you, what's wrong with that?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, you come to a country, you get your passport stamped.
Same thing.
You get registered, you're in the country. Like, what's the deal?
Yep. So I don't really know if she's good or bad or if she has alternative motives, whatever the fucking word is, behind this agenda.
Yeah.
But that's going back to what we were talking about earlier. There was that crazy fire shooting lady who was not impressed with it all. And
yeah. So I can see actually both sides of this. It's kind of like it's the whole registration act is like keeping tabs on like the overly powered ones. And, some people might be caught in the crossfire of like, I'm actually a good guy. I don't use my powers.
Yeah.
But
who knows? But the last little piece of information we learn is she is actually an alien.
Yes.
She sort of like phases out as she's walking away, real badass. But I don't know what that means. Is this sort of following the same path as Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., where their director is an Inhuman, I guess, which we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
But
it is. It's treading very closely, actually.
Yeah. So.
That's a very good point.
Yeah.
When I saw those eyes light up, I instantly thought she's the Green Martian.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's been talks, Miss Martian, sorry, because there's been talks that Miss Martian was going to be showing up.
Right.
Ultimately, it is not her because Miss Martian actually shows up as a bartender in the Alien Hangout.
Yeah, which was really cool. I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
No.
And what happens here, John Jones goes into that bar, which I don't know how we found out about it.
Neither.
But it must have just been brought up in conversation.
Sure, yeah. Hey, guys, I went and saw this sweet bar.
Yeah, well, exactly. So, Alex was there and she goes, oh, John, Like, if you ever want to catch up for like a drink with some like more
Aliens.
freaks,
Yeah.
like go here and you can like just be yourself.
Don't pull a gun out though.
Yeah. Don't be a dickhead in there. And anyway, he's in there and he gets served by that girl and she kind of like shits herself looking at him.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, I can change into my normal appearance. It's like, oh, can't accept me for who I am.
Yeah, that was a bit weird. And then she's like, legs it out of there. Like, now I'm finished. And he follows her. I didn't think he would. I was like, oh, we're going to see the end. What's happening?
But anyway, he follows her out and she reveals her true form. Turns out to be Miss Martian.
Yeah.
Who like is a little bit of like a cute looking alien.
She is a bit cute.
Yeah. Like she just looks like you want to pinch her cheeks.
Yeah, almost
type
like
of
a
thing.
puppy dog alien.
Yeah, that's exactly it. But here is a massive like spoiler warning for this because I don't know if you watch like Young Justice or anything like that, there's Miss Martian in there and gives you a good rundown on like who she really is. But ultimately, she is a white Martian.
Yeah.
And they are the race of aliens that killed all the green Martians, of course.
There's so many race wars in this episode.
It is. It's kind of an X-Men feeling going on here.
Yeah.
Far out.
But I did not know that about her being a white Martian.
Yeah, so she's like this huge monster thing. And if you go back and rewatch season 1, there's actually an episode dedicated to the white Martians.
Right.
And one of them actually comes to Earth, finds out who John Jones is, and ultimately tries to kill him.
So I wonder what her spin on things will be because she didn't seem too ready to like throw down.
Yeah.
So.
Well, ultimately she's a pretty good guy. So I reckon she is a white Martian. So there's going to be a lot of tension there. I think they will reveal that pretty quickly. I feel like they need to.
Yeah, because you won't understand why she was so weird.
Yeah,
about
exactly.
seeing him, so
We'll find out anyway. Supergirl does return next week. That's going to take us to Gotham.
That's right. And this week's top moment number 1, the Mad Hatter is at it again. So Jarvis Tetch is back and he's looking mighty crazy this episode. He's legitimately off his rocker, which I guess Mad Hatter, appropriate. I think he made this episode.
Yeah.
He was so good.
He was so good. And I remember when like the first episode that he came in, I was like, he's pretty mild.
Yeah. I thought the same thing, like, boring hypnotist. I didn't even pick up on the fact that he was the Mad Hatter, to be honest.
Yeah, exactly. It's something that could like easily pass over.
Yeah.
But like you said, he's like just ramping up his craziness. It's really cool.
I do. I really like it. And I guess ultimately this episode focuses around the Mad Hatter and him putting Jim Gordon in impossible situations and trying to make him, I guess, understand who he really is. Blah, blah, blah.
Honestly, what does like saving a child compared to a newlywed couple tell you about who you are?
That's right. I mean, I knew who he was going to choose from the very
Everyone
beginning.
did.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess it's all stemming from the fact that the Mad Hatter blames Gordon still for Alice's death, and he's a little bit in denial, I think, about all of that.
Yeah.
So
There was a really good scene in this episode where he's tracked the Mad Hatter up into like a hotel room, or it might have been a warehouse.
Oh, with the telescope.
With the telescope. Yeah. And like Jim just keeps hanging up on him on the phone, and he's like, don't you do that again? And just keeps doing it.
I loved that part. That was really funny, actually. And
It was.
It was like a power play, I guess.
It was.
That was before things got super personal with Gordon, and I guess then the power play sort of shifted. But I really enjoyed him in this episode.
Yeah, that was good. Anyway, let's move on. Top moment number 2, and that is Captain Barnes is just badass.
Oh, yeah. He's really, he's doing more than just walking.
Yeah, that's it.
Destroying
he
shit.
is strong as fuck.
Yep.
And you see this, like he's in that interrogation room, and he's starting. It looks like he's starting to lose it a bit. Like he can't control his anger.
Yeah.
Is he turning into like some type of DC Hulk ripoff?
I don't know. Must be.
Maybe.
Because for most of the part, he's not too bad. Like he's functioning and he's just a bit grumpy, he was always a bit like that. But then some moments he's just like furious.
It almost seems like when he's on his own.
Yeah.
Like he's trapped in his own mind or something.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what's happening here. When he's interacting with people, he seems to be, like you said, he seems to be perfectly fine. And no one else is kind of noticing what's going on.
Yeah, and I guess that's weird because these guys are detectives.
Yeah.
They're a bit shit.
And this is your boss. And like you have to talk to him every day.
And I think it only sort of comes up once, like, oh, you're not using your cane or whatever
yeah,
anymore.
Bullock. He's like, oh, lost the cane, hey?
Yeah.
And I don't even need it anymore.
Yeah, like, wouldn't that be raising alarm bells?
Yeah, just like... mate, you're pretty crippled.
Yeah.
Like,
you could not walk quickly anywhere.
You need that thing.
But yeah, he was, he's getting, I don't know where they'll take this in terms of him, what they're going to do with him. But
yeah, like, I don't know. It almost seems like they're trying to turn him slowly into a villain.
Yeah,
But
I get that feeling.
It would be so fantastic if, let's call him a metahuman now.
Yeah.
If a metahuman on Gotham wasn't bad.
Yeah, wouldn't that be great?
Wouldn't that just be like a refreshing story?
I know. Something different for a change.
Yeah. Instead of like, we're going to build up to this guy being a villain and now he's the villain.
Yep.
It's like, fuck, who
We've
gives
got
a
enough
shit?
villains.
Yeah,
Bloody hell.
exactly.
Anyway, that's going to take us to our next top moment, which is Penguin is in love. I knew you'd love this bit.
Yeah, I can't wait.
So we find out in this episode that sort of the Penguin sort of goes back and forth between himself and the maid, just discussing things with the maid. In one episode. I don't know. But it turns out that he is in love with Nigma.
Out of nowhere, it almost seems.
Yeah, didn't see that coming.
Like he was almost going to kill him in the mayor election
Yep.
for seemingly fucking up his
Everything.
bought votes.
Yeah.
And now he's like, I love you.
Yeah. It's a bit weird, and I don't really know why
I
they
don't
would go this way.
Yeah, it feels so forced. Like it's just like a click of the fingers, and he's like, okay, I don't want to kill you. Now I love you. I want to be with you.
And I guess it looked like Nigma was kind of returning that feeling a little bit.
Yeah, it did seem like there was like
Chemistry
going on.
But then we sort of see at the end of the episode that Nigma's gone out to buy a bottle of wine or something for their rendezvous, and he runs into someone who looks exactly like Kristen Kringle.
Yeah.
What is it with this show and doppelgangers? Like, I don't get it. I don't understand. Anyway, so that's going to be some weird love triangle. I can see it now because she quotes like riddles and things like that he loves.
That is like, that's too on the nose, man.
Yeah, I don't know. But we'll see where it goes, I guess. I feel like Penguin's going to get his little heart broken.
Probably.
And he'll probably turn crazy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is like as cliche as it gets. So I totally can't wait to see how that goes. Anyway, top moment number 4, we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier, is Jim's big choice. So end of the episode, we see the Mad Hatter tea party with a twist. Jim must pick who dies.
Yeah, Valerie or Lee.
Yeah, so they got we got a Falcone and Gordon kind of team up.
Yeah, it sort of drizzled away.
Yeah, it's like the Mad Hatter almost knew.
Yeah, that was weird.
That was so weird. That is like Gotham. Though.
Yeah.
That is Gotham. It's like, okay, so I know he's going to get her fiance in on this, and there's
a gun downstairs
in a drawer, in a box, and I'm going to swap those bullets out for blanks.
Yeah, of course. Because that's how it works all the time.
Every time.
Because you scour a house before, like, looking for weapons in the basement, in a box, within a box.
Yeah.
Of course. He's got 2 idiots with him as well.
Exactly. Like, Tweedledee, Tweedledum. And I mean, this guy's a Falcone. Like, just go to your dad and get some fucking muscle.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, Dad, they've actually
kidnapped Lee.
Yeah, they got Lee. Do you think you got some guys that can, like, just come and shoot these other guys? Take care of it? Like, that's just stupidity to me. But the episode basically ends with Valerie getting shot.
Yeah.
Because Gordon told the Hatter, to shoot Lee. And the Hatter takes that to, like...
mean that Jim loves Valerie?
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It was all a bit twisted. And I don't know if then it'll be revealed that Jim was actually wanting the Hatter to shoot Valerie all along.
Yeah.
I don't know. Something weird's going to happen.
It won't surprise me because, I mean, if... the Mad Hatter knew there was a gun down in a box in a basement of a house.
Yeah.
Surely Gordon can know that he was going to do the opposite.
Yeah. I don't know. But it's a pretty like tough situation, I guess, at the moment because we don't really know what's happening with Valerie. She's been shot in the stomach. I'm surprised she's still alive, to be honest, because it was almost point blank.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah.
But
that's true.
Yeah, I don't know.
Who actually cares?
I guess that's all of our top moments there. But I just want to point out, this episode had no Fish Mooney, no Bruce, no shitty side stories except for maybe Penguin. And I thought it was really good.
It's actually hard to fault Gotham this week because it's stuck to a clean story.
Yes.
and it was funny.
Yeah.
It had a bit of tension, and it had good action.
Yeah. This is probably this season the best episode so far for me, for Gotham.
Yeah. I would agree with you on that actually, because it's just been good.
It was a bit more like a cop show, I guess.
Yeah, that's it.
So-
There's no fucking here's little Bruce
Yeah.
doing some detective work that no fucking 12-year-old could actually do.
I mean, it wasn't a perfect episode. Like we said, there were some stupid shit things that
Yeah.
always with this series, but should we rate it?
We should rate it. We forgot to rate Supergirl, but
Oh,
we've
shit,
gone
we
way
did.
past that now,
Yeah,
so
well.
it's in the past. Let's give it both say 4.
Okay,
Supergirl.
cool.
Okay.
Done.
Gotham, what do you rate it?
I'm going to give it a 3.75
3.75?
this week. Normally I rate Gotham pretty low, I
Yeah.
guess, because I haven't liked... I'm not quite at the 4 yet, because I think it would need to be more consistent.
Yep.
But this episode was really good in
Yeah.
terms of how it's been so far.
Yeah, I'm going to give it 3.5. Pretty much all those same reasons. Like Gotham was, it is on very thin ice with me.
Yeah.
And I mean, we have 7 shows that we review now, and we almost have to get to a point where we might have to cut a couple off. And like Gotham is right up the top there for me.
Yeah, I agree with that. But,
And it's, I don't know, it's got to get its shit together and cut out all the side stories.
and I think if it was purely a Jim Gordon show,
Yeah.
it would be better.
Yeah.
That's just personal.
I don't need everything alluding to the fact that Batman's coming, because no, he's not.
No, he's a 12-year-old boy.
Yeah.
What the fuck is he going to do?
Like, unless what happens is this show ends at the end of this season and comes back and it's 8 years later.
yeah.
Maybe I could start getting on board with the whole
Yeah.
Batman idea, but that is not going to happen.
No.
Anyway, let's move on to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yes, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. So, top moment number 1 from this week's episode, the Darkhold has been located.
Oh, damn.
Oh, damn. So, Lucy finally locates this Darkhold, murders her husband in the process. Like, how much tough love is that?
Yeah, she is just ruthless.
Yeah, she really wants this book.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's got it now, but it turns out she can't read it. Is that because she's a ghost or because she's trying to do bad? I don't know. I feel like this book doesn't have a conscience.
Yeah, it's very weird because you can pick it up.
Yeah.
So,
She can't read it though. I don't know.
yeah.
I think it must be because she's not alive, maybe. Who knows?
Maybe
Anyway,
you need a soul to operate the book.
maybe. Because it sort of starts to turn on and then it's like, oh, nah.
Yeah,
jokes.
access denied.
So it sort of looks like she's going to try and track down Eli, Ghost Rider's uncle, who we know is in prison, because he's probably the only member of the original team left who is a human.
Yes, that's
So-
right. Very interesting.
It is.
That's going to actually, talking about this Darkhold, it's going to take me to my top moment number 2, because we got some goddamn Johnny Blaze teasers in here.
Damn.
And holy fuck, like, excuse my language, but goddamn, I got excited because, in the basement there where they find the Darkhold, you see the bike, you see a jacket, and you see a carnival poster that Johnny Blaze actually performs in as the stuntman.
Yeah.
So, he is in this universe.
Yeah.
That's what that tells me. So my next question is, where is this motherfucker?
Hurry up. And I missed that. I missed that whole tease. It must have been because I was watching it late at night. But when you said you were so excited. And I'm like, fuck, I didn't even see that. But damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Oh, go back,
I'm
watch
gonna
it,
watch
and
it
you'll be
again.
like, oh shit. Like, the bike is like just clear as day. To be fair, how do you get a fucking motorbike down into your basement?
He's magic. Who knows?
That's a very good point. Just connect the dots.
But
I mean, there's a magic book down there. Of course you can transfer your bike down
they
there.
found that book real easy too.
They
Gonna
did.
say.
They did.
And why would you put it back in the same place? Like stupid husband buries it in the same place he found it. Weird.
That is actually, you know what, Amy? That's a fantastic point you bring up. That is stupid as fuck.
Anyway.
But I am like holding out that we could see a Johnny Blaze and Ray Easy team up
Oh.
by the end of this season.
And how good... Look, I would love it if Nick Cage was Johnny Blaze.
Oh, my God.
I would love it.
That would just be fucking amazing, and I'll just splooge fucking all over this room. It would just be amazing.
Yeah. I don't know how they'd go paying Nick Cage to be in an episode.
Do you know Nick Cage? That guy will
He'll be
take
in
up
anything. We
anything.
said this. Oh, idiot, Amy. Of course he'll play Johnny Blaze.
He would be there in a fucking heartbeat. That would be so amazing.
Anyway, so that's going to take us to top moment number 3, which is Eli gets kidnapped, ultimately, because Ghost Rider can't get his shit together.
God damn it, Ghost Rider.
God damn it. So
this is why you need Johnny Blaze with you to keep you in line.
Yeah, exactly. This part of the episode was so infuriating. I just was like, I literally yelled out, idiot. Yeah. Like, what an idiot.
I think I'm the same. I think I threw my phone down. I was like, you are a fuckhead.
Exactly. It's because what happens is S.H.I.E.L.D. teams up with Ghost Rider and Daisy, Quake, whatever she wants to be called now. Who knows? And they go to the prison that Eli is at to break him out before Lucy can get to him. And
yes.
Because they know that she's after him. I can't remember how they tied that together. Anyway, they need him for information regardless.
Yeah.
Pretty much, Ghost Rider decides that he wants to kill a guy from the old mob that put a hit out on him and Gabe, his brother.
Yeah.
But this guy was in prison when the hit was made.
Yeah.
So he didn't have anything to do with it, but he wants to kill him anyway. This was murder
This was just straight up murder.
Straight up. Like, he's always preaching about getting, they deserve it. It's, vengeance or whatever. This guy, we find out, is up for parole for good behavior. He doesn't even come out of his cell when the door opens.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It was just really shit. And because of this, these feelings that Ghost Rider has, his uncle gets kidnapped because he leaves him alone.
Yeah.
I saw that coming.
Oh, that was like as cliche as it gets. It's such a rookie move.
It really was. I don't know where his head was. Well, it was on fire, but whatever.
He's a bit of a hothead.
Yeah, and I guess Daisy also infuriated me in the fact that she decided to sacrifice herself again.
That story's getting really
real
timeless.
Old, real quick.
Yeah, it's come on, what don't you have to live for?
Yeah, I know. And I love Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Normally it's like every week it nails it.
Yeah.
But this really annoyed me this week.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, maybe there was a lot of writers on break or something, or they got a different team in to do this one.
I don't know.
Because this is like just some rough amongst some diamonds this season. Where the other shows are, the other way around.
Yeah.
This is like just kicking goals, but this episode was just dog shit.
I didn't. Yeah, and I think it was because of this. I was like I said, I yelled at the screen, normally I'm cheering, like, yes, so cool.
Yeah.
But idiot. He was just an idiot.
Yeah, and like these guys are like partnering up.
Yeah.
Like Daisy and Ray Easy.
Yeah, Ray Easy and Daisy.
Yeah. Oh, Daisy. Yeah,
Daisy.
that's running now.
Yep, cool.
But yeah, these guys are just running together and they're just making these stupid rookie errors that's getting everyone in danger.
And I guess, S.H.I.E.L.D. is trying to help them.
Yeah.
Or work with them at the very least. This guy, like, Ghost Rider is murdering people.
Yes.
And S.H.I.E.L.D. is being seen cooperating with him.
Yeah.
So they're sort of putting themselves out on the line here. And, Daisy and Ray Easy are just throwing it back in their face.
Yeah.
Like, fuck you guys.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, come on, guys, you are selfish pricks.
Yeah, pretty much.
Selfish pricks. And you know what? That's going to actually lead in top moment number 4, and that is director Jeffrey Mace reveals himself, but like not in the way that like Amy wanted.
Not in a gross way.
Yeah, like not in a like, hey man, just like zip it out. No, what happens is he tells the world that he's an Inhuman, which that was a surprise to me because I just naturally presumed that everyone knew.
Yeah, because I guess he wasn't afraid to show it
in S.H.I.E.L.D. Yeah.
And I don't think everybody down there would necessarily keep things to themselves. So surely it must have leaked.
Yeah.
But anyway, turns out he reveals it on like national TV.
Yeah, which, like I said, I had no idea. And it turns out to be like, I think it's good.
Yeah, it's
because
good.
like people should know. Yeah. Especially because there's like this whole registration act going on.
Yeah.
And like the Inhumans are popping up everywhere again. People are hunting them down. Blah, blah, blah. But because of like Daisy and Ray Easy's actions, he has to now make a deal with like Senator Rhodanita? Nadir?
Yeah.
Who is just like mega bitch.
Oh, yeah. What the fuck is up with her? We saw some weird shit with her last episode.
Yeah, we did.
I don't know. Something's not right with her.
No.
But,
typically, she's like the Donald Trump of this show. Because, and the reason I say that is because like the director there's like that TV interview where he reveals himself, but he gets introduced and has a little talk, and she's like, well, can I now have a talk because he's got 30 seconds extra than me? And I was like,
Geez, getting
This is
snippy.
this is like has to play off the election, obviously, that's
Must.
going on in the United States. But what happens is she basically blackmails him with the
Photos.
the video footage of Crazy
being a
barbecuing up.
dick. Yeah, so, and we don't know what she wants.
Yeah.
We don't know. But I guess poor bloke, the director gets blackmailed on multiple occasions this episode.
He actually does.
Because then Simmons it's a less of a level of blackmail, but because she doesn't want to sit the lie detector test, and she knows that the big heroic act that the director did in saving those people wasn't actually him.
Yes.
So she doesn't want to, she sort of puts it to him like, well, I can't lie about that. So, and he's like, okay, well, you're excused.
Yeah.
So, which was a little bit convenient.
It was.
But it was sneaky.
Yeah. What do you rate it?
Look, I'm going to give this episode a 3.75 as well.
Really?
Yeah. I was so shitted off by the whole Ghost Rider Daisy thing. Anyway, but a bit lower than my normal scores for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah.
It just didn't hit that same mark this week.
No, that's fair enough. I'm going to give it 3.5. Same reasons. You know, the writing was just really poor.
Yeah.
This week, the storytelling wasn't great. And just crappy, like, plot holes.
Yeah. It annoyed me.
It annoyed me a lot. Anyway, let's move on to The Flash.
Yeah.
Yeah, the show that, like, just can't do wrong. Or can it?
Well, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't know. This is just like hitting home runs every week.
Yeah.
And like it could be that I have a soft spot for like the CW shows.
Yeah.
It's just because I'm like, oh fuck yeah, this Flareverse. I'm just fucking love it. Anyway, so top moment number 1 is Mirror Master and the top arrive.
Yes.
So, oh man, this Mirror Master's powers are like cool as fuck.
So cool.
As Troy would say, cool as shit.
Cool as shit.
And I don't know why he says that because, like, I don't like shit.
Neither do I. Oh, I think it's just one of his little quirks.
Yeah. That dude is so weird. But anyway, Top's powers, they are trippy as hell. So
yeah, when they sort of introduced what her powers were, like at Star Labs, I thought it sort of sounded like she had a bit of a shit power.
yeah.
I was like, oh, that sounds a bit crap. Like,
Yeah.
But then it turns out that she can pretty much render anyone useless. I guess,
Yeah, which is like, what she does is she like almost induces vertigo onto
so
someone.
Dizziness,
like the world's warping around them. Felt very Doctor Strange like
it
there.
did.
So I know, I thought that was pretty cool. But like no one else can see what's going on. It's only from the person who's getting affected, their perspective.
Yeah, so she can do it in stealth, I guess, as well. But it was a pretty cool power, turned out to be.
Yeah. But one thing that we learn here is that with him arriving is that it was not him that killed the rival in those previous episodes because he just walks around in a suit.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like any gauntlets or anything like that.
No.
And a very like minor, like I guess, note that you might have missed is that he was actually stuck in the mirror for 3 years.
Yeah, a long time. And was that because it was face down? Is that what that scene with the guards lifting the mirror up was?
You know what? That could have been.
Yeah,
Maybe.
I don't know. It sort of flicked past and I was like, oh, maybe that's why. But yeah, he was stuck in there for ages.
Yeah.
Poor bloke. All right. So top moment number 2, Barry and Jesse begin becoming running buddies, I guess.
Yeah, this should be like right up your alley.
Yeah, Jesse Quick. It was so cool to see them running around the particle accelerator.
Yeah.
And I guess Jesse's got a little bit to learn because she's sort of a bit of a hotshot.
Yeah.
Like, trying to keep up with Barry, but Barry's sort of like the original.
He's the OG.
And he knows it. And I guess she's still learning, but she's doing a good job.
She is doing a pretty good job. And like the CGI for these running scenes, like Barry looked shithouse in it, but she looked fantastic.
She did. She was like a natural.
Yeah.
She looked natural.
Yeah.
And the suit looked great. I guess she sort of has a bit of a downfall when she first versus Top, where she doesn't listen to Barry and then Barry gets stuck in a mirror because of it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that a little bit later on, but she sort of redeems herself and beats Top the second time, which I'm not sure how that happened.
Actually, I was just about to ask you that. Is like, how did she know how to beat her?
Yeah, because you don't just stop having vertigo and being dizzy.
Yeah.
And if you do start running really quickly, surely you just like fall off the side of the building.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, she beats her and blah, 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 I guess. And I think she even says, I learned it from last time or whatever.
Yeah. Like there's only like 2 issues I really had with this episode. That was one of them. And like that was just kind of TV convenience of I know what I'm doing now.
Yeah.
I know
I've
how to
learned
beat you.
in
It's
an
like,
hour.
What did you learn?
Do.
Because I don't fucking know.
Yeah. It's not clear.
Yeah, it's not clear at all.
Yeah. And I guess the other thing to bring into this top moment is Barry beating Mirror Master. That was like straight up comics.
Yeah, it was.
With the mirrors around him and
That's like that. It was almost like panel for panel out of comics. Like I don't mean to like make a pun about like glass panels, but that's really cool. I really like when they do that.
They sort of bring it back to earth a little bit. I guess with the old school comics, but.
Anyway, let's move on. Top moment number 3. Love is in the air.
Da, 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 da.
Is that the X-Men theme?
Yeah, it's just really fast X-Men theme.
Yeah,
this is my love for X-Men. See?
Oh, that's a love that can't be beaten.
Nah.
So anyway, Wally and Jesse, they finally get their pash on.
Oh, damn, they do. But she's leaving.
Yeah, she's leaving. So it's like Barry's just like a bit of a tease. I'm like, come on, man.
Yeah.
So, whatever. She will be back.
She will. She has to come back.
Has to come back. You know it. And Barry and Iris, they're getting pretty close, like cozy and close.
Are. I'm kind of digging it a little bit.
Well, they do get married in the future.
Yeah,
so
and everyone's known that for ages.
I think that's happened from like 1950. So it's kind of like written in history.
Yes.
And how about Joe getting hit up for dinner from the other cop and he's just kind of spazzes on it. It was really funny and like a really cute moment for him. It was.
And I was like, just go Joe, do it. But he's nah.
And like Barry's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
And he's like, I get nervous.
Yeah, that was a cute moment.
It was cute. And how about Barry wanting to move out? Yeah, like he's like really touchy about the subject. He goes to Joe, I'm thinking of getting my own place. And Joe's just like, fuck yeah, get the fuck out of here, Barry.
Yeah, he gives no shits about it.
No shits were given.
No.
And like it's really good. It's a light-heart moment. And this is what I really like about The Flash. They can have like these really touching moments, but also have really fantastic action and danger.
Yeah, it sort of takes the edge off that mushiness,
yes,
I guess. So I do like that about The Flash.
And this is how relationships should be done in a superhero show. Like they should be the humanizing part of the show. Because, Barry, he is literally the most dangerous person in the world.
Yeah, that's right.
Like ultimately. And this kind of just brings him back down to being more human.
Yeah, it's good. And you can relate a little bit more.
You can relate.
All right, so top moment number 4, Harrison Wells multiverse auditions. I'm just going to say, how much trust can the team put in this? Like, we're just going to send out a little equation into the multiverse and see what we get back.
Yeah.
What? Why?
Yeah.
Why do they need a Harrison Wells also? I don't get it.
Because the plot needs it. That's the only reason I could think of.
But yeah, well, they just shoot this algorithm out and they hope for the best, and they get a lot of shit auditions in, and they pick one.
Yeah.
I guess, who I don't know how I feel about this Earth 19 Harrison Wells. I hope they don't make him a bad guy because that story has been done to shit.
Oh my God. If they do that, I will fucking lose my shit.
Yeah.
I'll get on Twitter and I'll add that fucking Flash's writer's room to like so many fucks will be going their way.
F-bombs everywhere.
Everywhere. That story is done to death.
It is. So hopefully he's not a bad guy and he just does sort of fill that gap of the Harrison Wells being on Earth 2.
Yeah.
But then I feel like we'll also get Earth 2 Harrison Wells coming back when Jesse comes back, and I don't know how it's all going to play.
Yeah. Look, I have a feeling he's going to be bad. Harrison Wells from Earth 2 will come back, save the day.
Yeah.
Because this guy, he's too quirky.
He's a bit off.
He is a bit off. And I've got a little fact for you that Earth 19, exactly the same as Earth 1, except it's 100 years in the past.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know if the TV show will be doing it that way. I don't think they will be because he asks, is there a Big Belly burger here?
Oh, yeah, that's true.
But I don't know. Maybe they'll take some elements from that or something like that. Or maybe they're 100 years in the future. They might switch it up.
Maybe. Who knows?
Who knows?
I just hope they don't ruin the storyline with this sort of thing.
I just hope they don't rehash it like you said.
Yeah.
I'm done with that. I'm sick. I'm sick of his, like, what do you call it? like a master,
Yeah.
turning out to be a bad guy.
Yeah, like
Harrison Wells, season 1.
Yep.
Jay Garrick, a.k.a. Zoom,
Yep.
season 2. Don't need it again.
All of the sort of like Jedi Masters becoming evil.
Yeah, that's exactly it. I don't need that again. And that will really... I was quite annoyed last season how they kind of like rehashed that story from
Again.
season 1.
Yeah.
It's just like, come on, get over that.
Anyway,
top moment, number 5, Killer Frost to the rescue.
Whee!
Is she really a killer, though? More like Savior Frost?
Yeah, I hope she doesn't.
Hero Frost?
Hero Frost.
Yeah.
I hope she's not a killer because I like her.
Yeah, it's interesting because we kind of see the transformation happening. So she uses her powers to save Barry, like when everyone leaves the room, when the little fusion box or whatever
they made doesn't work.
Yeah, the little portable fridge freezer thing.
And Barry can't get out of the mirror.
Can't get out of the mirror. So she uses her little frosty powers, freezes the mirror to well below absolute zero, which they really like held on that moment for a long time. And I didn't think it was like really needed. No. They could have just said, we can't get cold enough.
It needs to be much colder than we can get. Whatever.
So anyway, we see she's in the shower and her body starts freezing the water coming out of the shower, which is cool.
Really cool.
I don't mean to make a pun there. I'm not Troy, I swear.
You made some good ones this episode.
Yeah, I know, it's terrible. And her lips start turning blue and we see her hair starting to turn white.
Yeah, and she just cuts it off like, oh, you're not there anymore.
Yeah, like could she just say like I got a streak done?
Yeah, I don't know why she isn't telling them.
Yeah.
I don't get it, honestly.
You know, I'm super excited for her to become Killer Frost.
Yeah.
Because she is like hot as fuck.
So hot.
As Killer Frost.
Yeah. I hope that if she does become the Killer Frost, like there must be a redeeming point along the way because she can't just be the new bad guy or whatever.
Yeah.
They need Caitlin Snow.
Yes, they do. So that's a good point. It'd be interesting to see if they actually turn her into a villain. Like, do her powers start messing with the chemistry in her brain?
Yeah. I don't know. But, in saying that, I guess the powers, we're seeing a lot of people in alternate universes who didn't have powers, who had powers in the alternate universe, but not in the normal universe, I guess, now have them. So I hope that doesn't just mean she's just turning into Killer Frost. Like maybe she's just getting the powers.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? I have my fingers crossed for her to be a good guy.
Me too.
Because I want her to stick around. And
Same.
it's almost like that whole thing again.
Yeah.
Like someone close to you turns evil and it's like, fuck off with this shit.
Get something new.
Yeah. Get a new writer in.
Yeah.
Get Kevin Smith in to write your villain. He'll fucking wank his dick off for that shit.
All right.
Let's rate it. What did you think of it?
I'm going to give this episode 4.
A 4?
Yep. The Flash is consistent. And this episode, although it had some little annoying pieces, I liked what they did with bringing Killer Frost into it.
Yep.
And a 4 for me.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to match it. It's a 4 for me too. Two downers, that's the whole... I think they're going to be rehashing
The evil master storyline.
Yeah. So that was my second one that I didn't like. So yeah, I'm going to give it a 4. But this is still proving to be one of the better shows on TV.
Yep, agree.
Now let's move on to Arrow, which is kind of proving to be okay-ish.
Yeah, I liked this week's episode.
Yeah.
And normally I loved Arrow when it first came out.
Yeah, first season was fucking just so good because there's nothing else out there like it. It really set the standard.
Yep.
And then when The Flash came out, it's like all the good writers went to The Flash to make that a success.
Yeah.
And kind of forgot about Arrow.
Yeah.
And then Legends of Tomorrow came out and the same thing happened.
Yep. Anyway, so we'll get into the top moments. So top moment number 1, Ragman is off the team. So he leaves. He can't deal with Felicity being there.
That's a soft exit.
It is.
Like that's bitching out.
Yeah, I'm not going to deal with this. I'm just going to turn a blind eye and I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Pretty
so
much.
like rather than being like, okay, let's talk about it. What happened? It's no, I'm done.
Yeah, and I guess he sort of leaves, but Felicity sort of brings a little bit of feeling into it with her apology again to him, I guess. And like we said last week, this is a good way to use Felicity.
It is.
Not in the love story, schmucky bullshit, whatever, but she actually has something conflicting in her life that makes her like a substantial person.
Yes, exactly. Like this, Felicity isn't like 2D anymore. It's like I work with Arrow and
I sort of love him,
and I love him, but now got another boyfriend.
Yeah.
It's just, that's a crap way to use this character. Like, I really, really like Felicity as a character. I hate the way they use her majority of the time. But yeah, like you said, it's good. She hasn't got a love story going. Well, she does, but they're not doing it.
Yeah.
They're kind of like using her battle of guilt, which I feel was really brushed over last season.
Yeah.
Of killing a whole city worth of people.
Yeah. And hopefully they continue doing that. Because, I mean, I'm not getting the sense of Felicity Oliver from any of these episodes.
Which is good.
Yeah, but who knows? It'll probably come back.
Fucking let's hope not. Let's hope not. Anyway, let's go to top moment number 2, and that's Operation Diggle. Damn. Oliver, man, he just kicks everyone's ass.
He does, and he's so quick about it. Like,
he is. Like, so his team comes to him and like, nah, mate, you're not doing this, eh?
Yeah.
He's like, get the fuck out of my way. I haven't got time to fuck around with you guys.
Yeah.
And they kind of, all right, we're going to kick your ass so you can't go. Oliver literally lays him out in what, 10 seconds?
Nothing. And then he's on his bike and speeding away and they haven't even gotten up.
Yeah.
But it's just ridiculous. And then I think they even say, oh, it's a bit of a shit feeling to find out he's been going easy on us.
Yeah,
but
in the training. Yeah.
Come on, guys. He's been doing this for how long?
Yeah, exactly. At least 5 years.
Yeah.
Stuck on a hellish island. So, you know, of course things are going to go south because they need to. We need some drama in the episode when he goes to save Diggle. Well, I guess break Diggle out of military prison.
Yeah, which is not an easy feat. I guess.
No, it's not. And I've got a very Mission Impossible feel about it. Like, as soon as it started happening, like the motorbike, his outfit, I was like, I reckon this is going to be a Mission Impossible themed episode. And it basically was.
Yeah, like him dropping from the ceiling and things. Yeah.
Because, you see the guards. And mind you, this is a military prison. There needs to be more guards.
Yeah, what the hell?
Going on.
Yeah.
Surely. And you see, like, he's up in the rafters almost. And I'm like, surely he's not up there.
Yeah.
Sure enough, drops down. And he is. But this gets my dog shit scene of the week.
All right, do tell.
So, Oliver breaks Diggle out. They're out in the yard, surrounded by, like, let's say, the amount of staff that you should have had inside the prison.
Yep.
And a plane, like, not a little plane.
Massive
like
plane.
a cargo plane, flies over the military prison, which should be a no-fly zone. Just saying. And they somehow seem to get scooped up. There's no cable.
Nothing.
Because, like, all those, I guess, guards were around them. Oliver didn't have, like, a grappling gun with him, I don't think.
Well, I didn't see one.
I didn't see him shoot anything.
And how high would he have to shoot that?
Exactly. That plane would have had to be, what, 50, 100 meters high?
And it just sort of jerked them off the ground.
Yeah, I had no... Maybe someone in the plane shot something down. But wouldn't the cable, like, cut everyone in half?
It didn't make sense.
It did not make sense. Not at all.
No.
So that was, like, the dog shit scene of the week.
All right, well, let's move on to top moment number 3, which is Team Arrow Unite. So I guess Ragman is back.
Yeah, it's like...
he's rounding up the troops.
He's like, I'm off the team. Nah, coach, I'm back in. Put me out.
I can do this. I got this. And they go off to stop Tobias Church, who is trying to destroy the anti-crime unit.
Yes.
I think, with the guns he stole and all that kind of shit. So Oliver's not there, obviously, so Team Arrow has to do something about it.
But they kind of get their asses handed to them.
Yeah, they do. They don't really do anything.
And this is like Felicity's doing.
Yeah, she sends them in there. And I guess...
she's a loose cannon, man.
She's just making decisions.
Yeah.
But... so it ends off with Mr. Terrific getting a knife in the back.
Cop that, mate.
Yeah, that was... Ugh. And Mad Dog getting left behind to battle Tobias Church by himself and getting his ass handed to him.
Yeah.
He just gets destroyed.
Absolutely.
He's got nothing. Like, even Oliver fighting Tobias Church was... well, it was portrayed as a tough fight.
Yeah.
And there's no way Mad Dog can beat Oliver.
No.
So... it just wasn't a smart thing to do.
No, not at all. And that's like the second down point to this episode is like, I felt like that felt really forced and it didn't need to happen.
Yeah, that's right. And I guess even though the Team Arrow has united, they're now broken all apart again because Tobias takes Mad Dog with him.
Yeah, and that's right. And like Tobias is just kind of stuck there, chained up like a dog.
Yeah, Mad Dog's like a dog. Yeah,
and it's just like getting wailed on.
Yeah, it's not pretty.
It's
That's for
not.
sure. And he's still mouthing off to Tobias Church as well.
Mind you got to give him credit for that.
Yeah, he's a pretty tough guy.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Just silly
It
silly
was.
decisions.
it was. And I guess they're in a hard spot. I think they felt like they needed to do something.
Maybe.
Probably wasn't smart
Not at
without
all.
Oliver there. Anyway,
What do you rate this bad boy?
I'm gonna give this one 3.5. 3.5 for this
Fuck,
episode.
that's pretty generous.
Yeah, look, I thought there were some good points in this episode, but there were a lot of shit points as well.
Yeah.
This is probably my least favorite episode of the week.
Yeah, I feel you.
And normally that's Gotham, but it was Arrow this week.
Yeah. This just wasn't that great.
No.
It just too much TV luck and just bad storytelling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you give it?
I'm going to give it a 3.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Brutal.
brutal. Got to, treat them mean, keep them clean.
All right.
All right, let's move on to Legends of Tomorrow. So
Yee.
this show, man, it is so much better than what it was last season.
Yes.
I'm fucking loving it.
It's a different feel.
It is a
completely.
different feel, and it's similar, but it's so different. So anyway, let's start with top moment number 1, and that is Citizen Steel is here.
Damn.
Or should I say Colossus?
Yeah.
Like they look so similar.
They do. I didn't even think that when I saw him. I'm like, man, he looks familiar.
Yeah.
Now I know.
That's where you got it.
Yep.
So basically, Vixen is trying to she's getting stuck into everyone on the ship.
Yeah.
And she is just like, because what happened at the end of last episode was our man got killed and
Yes.
he's a time traveler. So she's
Thief time traveler.
thief time traveler. So
Yes.
she's thought, okay, it's the Legends and she's on the ship and she's just like out for blood, honestly.
Yeah, she's like vicious looking too.
She
just takes
is.
them all out.
Yeah.
Except how does she get caught? Oh, okay.
She gets caught
Yes.
by Citizen Steel
Damn.
and it's just like boom, like just taps her on the head.
And she's gone.
And she's gone. That felt very Luke Cagey to me.
Yeah, yeah.
Because he is like next level strength and all that. And his fight scenes were like extremely average. And because he was extremely overpowered,
Yes.
he just fights people by like a little slap on the head and they're
Flicking
like,
them on the nose or
and they're
whatever.
like knocked out. Like
Yeah.
it puts it into perspective, like of how much of a next level they are on.
Yeah.
But that's how she gets knocked out.
Mm-hmm.
And I can tell you what, I know why the CGI was shit last episode for fucking Captain Nazi is because they were saving the money for Citizen Steel because I
Yeah.
tell you what, he looked on point.
He did.
For
He
a
looked
TV
great.
budget.
Yep. I would see that. Like, I would have seen that in a movie and thought that was good, sort of thing.
Yeah, you could have let it fly.
Yeah. He looked awesome, and he was awesome. He made the episode. Top moment number 2. The team is testing Steel's powers, I guess, trying to figure out the extent and how to trigger them and all that kind of stuff. Anyway, it leads to the cargo door being knocked open. And
Mid-flight.
So Citizen Steel and Ray
Ray.
get
yeah.
knocked out into like feudal Japan.
Yes.
Like 17th century?
Yeah. Yes. Well,
Ooh.
it was the birth of the 17th century.
Yes. So
They were in the time of ninjas.
Time of ninjas. Ninjas come up a lot in this episode, actually.
Yeah, they do.
I liked it. And Vixen doesn't believe in them, I guess, coming from olden times.
I don't know why she doesn't believe in it because she's from 1950.
They were ninjas before then.
Yeah, well, this is
feudal Japan.
yeah, like this is
Maybe she just doesn't know about it.
yeah, maybe it's very ignorant of her.
It is.
Like for her to believe like ninjas aren't real. It's like motherfucker, you got an amulet that gives you animal powers.
Yeah, true.
Like how are you not on board with ninjas?
I know. And then I think Sarah even says, "Well, I'm a ninja." Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. But ninjas were cool in this episode. I didn't really like how the whole sort of fight scene happened with them getting knocked out of the plane. But
Yeah.
they needed it to tie in later. Because
Yes.
they went and had to fix the plane. Who fixes it? What are their names? Jefferson and the old man.
Yeah.
Starts
Stein.
with S. Yes.
Nailed it.
They have to fix the ship pretty much, and they find a hidden compartment.
Yes, and we will get to that.
We will.
So, top moment number 3, and that is Ray versus the Atom Shogun.
Yeah.
So this was like pretty. It was pretty funny.
It
because,
was.
Look, I'll start off. It must be tough for Ray to want to destroy. Well, he doesn't want to, but he has to destroy his own suit.
There's no other way.
There's
to
no
win.
other way, and like he's fighting his suit with the Shogun in it, and he's getting his ass absolutely handed to him.
Yep.
But, Steel comes in, has his whole, this is my hero moment.
I've got my powers
Got
back.
his powers. I don't know. I can't remember how they even got triggered.
He gets shot in the chest by something.
Right.
And then he wakes up and he's like, and he's got them. I don't know why he lost them in the first place, but meh.
Oh, he had to be worthy, I guess.
Samurai.
Yeah. But essentially, Ray loses his suit.
He does.
And is it heartbreaking? No, because he's on a fucking ship from the future.
He can build a new one.
He could build a better one because
Yeah.
there's better technology from the future.
Yep, that's right.
So this is basically them, I think, moving into a new suit for Ray.
Must be. That's a good segue by them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
Though,
clever.
I don't understand because Ray said from the very beginning, that suit won't work for you. Why did it work?
Oh, no, yes, he said it wouldn't work for him. It's not made for you.
Yeah.
But then there's a scene where he's with the group and he goes, "Oh, I programmed it so any idiot can operate it."
Oh.
And like,
A bit of contradicting.
Yeah.
there. Anyway.
it was very contradicting. But Heatwave, he actually says, "An idiot does operate it." Like that was like
He's
awesome.
the best. I love Heatwave. He just brings a little bit of comic and he's a little bit grouchy.
Yeah, he's like a real dude.
Yes. Just like with the gun in this group of crazies, like, oh, fuck my life. sort
Yeah,
of thing.
pretty much.
But anyway, top moment number 4, Vixen is now part of the team, or she appears to be, I guess. And
Yeah.
she is totally savage.
She is savage.
She's like battling it out against, like not against, but sort of on par with Sarah, who is, League of Assassins.
Yeah, she's like the OG savage of the team.
Exactly. And it sort of seems like she's out for blood because,
Of our man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
She must have had some kind of real deep relationship with him.
Maybe, yeah.
Who
There could have
knows?
been a little bit of shipping going on there.
Shipping. Anyway, I can see Sarah and Vixen having a really good array of team ups.
Yes.
Over this season, which
Yep,
will
yep.
be good because those two together are awesome.
Yeah, they do. They bounce off each other really, really well
Mm.
because Vixen is like so narrow-minded on
Yeah.
like, this is what I'm doing,
Yeah.
don't get in my way. And like Sarah is very similar but puts like a lighter twist onto things.
Mm. Yeah, and I sort of like this episode how Sarah was in charge. I
Yeah.
guess she was like the boss lady.
Yep.
And all of the things came through her. She was flying the ship. Like, I liked it.
Yeah. I don't know. Is it just me or does it look weird when she's flying the ship?
Yeah, I think that's just poor acting rather than anything.
it
Just
could
like,
be.
bam, joystick goes up. Like,
Yeah, it is. And, it looks like they've changed the set because
Yeah.
the chairs used to be a lot further back where everyone else sat.
and now they're all squished in.
And like everyone's all squished in around the ship controls. Maybe that's what feels weird about it.
Maybe. They're
It's
all
just
too
like,
close.
It's all too close. And like if I was flying this massive ship and I turn around, there's like 8 people behind me, I'll be like, can you just
Give me
like,
some
yeah, just
space.
back off a bit, mate.
Yeah.
I'm flying a ship here.
It's like someone standing behind you too close at the ATM.
Oh,
That's what it's like.
don't get me started on that shit. Get out of my like personal space,
Yep.
motherfuckers.
Yes.
All right, let's go to the moment that everyone's waiting for. Top moment number 5, and that is Barry's message from 2056.
Damn. There's so many damn moments.
Oh, so many damn moments. The secret message in the secret room. He sounds super old.
But still sounds like Barry.
Yeah.
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah, I wonder if they actually used the same actor, Grant Gustin, and like modulated his voice
They
to
must have,
sound
because
older.
it sounded too much like him.
Yeah.
It did.
Yeah, had to be.
Mm.
What was his message? Is he going to like fuck up the timeline again?
God, please stop, Barry. No more alternate timelines, please.
Please.
But I want to know what it was.
What do you think it is?
Honestly, I have no idea. I don't even know where to start. Like I saw it flashing on their sort of little screen, like message from Barry Allen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what the fuck? How is this all going to tie in? But then I know in my brain that they do a joint episode.
Yeah.
So I know,
It's lead. You think that's part of the
Yes.
4 like night crossover?
yes.
I think it will. I know what the 4-night crossover is, and I've known for a while, and I've avoided like speaking about it on the show because I don't want to spoil it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll tell you about it afterwards if you
Okay.
want to know.
Nah, I'll wait.
Yeah.
I'll be surprised.
Okay, yeah. But yeah, it could be that. It could be that. Has to be that. Like, what else would you allude at? But what was also interesting about that room is that there's a lot of heavy artillery in there.
Yeah. Why would he keep that there, I guess?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Who knows? It might just have been there for special occasions.
Maybe.
Like when the time called for it. One thing that like everyone is glossing over though is there was hundreds of other messages there.
Yeah. Why didn't they listen to any of them?
Yeah. I mean, like I would have been pretty nosy and just been like clicking on it.
But the thing is, they don't tell the rest of the team.
Yes.
Because I guess Barry says at the start, don't tell the team.
Yeah. And it looks like it had to be something heavy because you see these two, Firestorm duo, are like, oh shit.
We can't tell them.
Yeah.
They'll have to.
They'll have to.
So, well, they're not very, what's the word? Incognito about things, those two.
No, they are actually quite terrible about that shit.
They can't keep secrets. So we'll find out.
We'll find out. What do you rate this bad boy?
I'm going to give this a 3.75.
That's like your theme.
I know. Well, you know.
You're like, you ride the 4s or you ride the 3.75s.
This week was pretty consistent except for Arrow, to be honest. And Gotham showed a little bit more promise this week. You know what? This was probably my favourite episode of the week, so I'll give it 4.
Okay.
I'm going to give it 4.
That's fair.
Okay. What do you give it?
I'm going to give it 4 as well. There was like you're right. It's a fun little episode. This seems to be the most fun show.
At the moment, yeah.
Yeah, like it's on par with actually The Flash for funness, in my opinion.
Yeah, these two, The Flash and Legends of Tomorrow, my favourite things to watch during the week. I love those ones.
Yeah, I think it's going to be... Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. There was a good little Easter egg that I noticed in this is that the wife's dad...
Wife's dad. Yes.
He was the Shogun from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Was
Lost
he?
in Time. Yeah.
Of course you would know that.
Oh, I spotted it. I was like, oh, it's that guy. So that's like the fun little Easter egg I spotted this week.
Nice. So there's no comic of the week again this week, guys. We're just out of time.
Out of time. Hashtag lazy. Hashtag that's usually Troy's job.
Yeah. Anyway, to make it up to you, we have a pretty sweet deal. We've partnered up with Comic Blitz.
Yeah, so if you sign up using the promo code ComicConPod, you will receive your first month free.
Woo!
Courtesy of us.
Everyone loves free stuff.
I love free comics.
Me too.
Man, I jumped on there, read some X-Files. Just cool as shit. I hate saying that. Fuck you, Troy.
Every time it comes out of your mouth, you're just like, damn it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. I'm going to have to talk to him about that.
Yeah.
Never say it again. But anyway, that's going to do it for another episode. Stay tuned next week as we're probably going to bring you a super special Doctor Strange only episode where we'll review it, probably give you some spoiler-free moments, and then just go fucking balls to the wall, hardcore, wreck that shit for you.
Nice.
So, you've been asking for it.
They have.
Yeah, and it's like, guys, let the whole world see it first, and then we're going to talk about it. And that's what's happening. So
Yes.
be prepared for that shit.
Be prepared.
Also, going to bring another classic episode of us talking about all the top moments.
Yeah, TV show top moments.
So, I've got a question for you listeners. Even though like we praised it this week, like we've got a lot of shows going on, and should we keep Gotham on board?
Yeah, we need to know what you think because it's not the most consistent show, I think. And out of all of them, it would be the one that I would choose to drop. But obviously, if you guys like hearing about it, tell us.
I'm going to throw a bonus question at you.
Ooh.
Because we did The Walking Dead as a solo episode, we actually got like a lot of praise for that. So do you guys want The Walking Dead to have its own little 20-minute episode each week?
Yeah. Do you want a little recap, sneaky recap?
Yeah, we can bring that to you. We have the technology these days.
Yeah, we're pretty smart.
Yeah. And I want to thank everyone.
Yes, you do.
I want to thank the listeners, the subscribers, and the reviewers.
Yes.
No one's left us a review in a while.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you guys are making me feel extra special over here. Come on, get over there. Amy's been busting her ass.
Yeah. Doing stuff.
Doing stuff. She's actually leaving next week to go run because she's sick of it. You can check us out on Facebook. That's Comic Confidential. Instagram and Twitter. That's @ComicConPod. Also got a link in the show notes if you want to check out our YouTube channel.
Which you do. You do want to check out the YouTubes.
We're actually going to start doing some videos soon. So what do you guys want to see? Do you want to see breakdowns or do you want to see like some news segments?
Yeah, let us know.
Yeah.
We also have a Snapchat.
Yes, we do.
which I've been a bit poor on lately.
Yeah.
Purely because we are watching like 7 shows a week.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so, and I should really remember to Snapchat at the start of each show, but you know, I'm already about 3 shows in by the time I remember, and I'm like, phone's so far away.
Yeah, that's fair. That is absolutely fair. I'll
But
give you that.
keep sending things in. We like to see them.
Yeah. Yeah, actually we do. We try to like reply to as many people as we can on there.
Yeah, yep. Sometimes it gets a bit hard, and I do miss a few days in between because I have my own Snapchat too.
And you got to keep those code filters on point.
Exactly. Anyway,
we've also got the website. That's Comic Con Pod. Jump on there. You can check out the other show that's part of our network. That's The Advisory.
yeah, those guys.
Those guys are hilarious. If you want some advice, send in to them and they'll answer your shit.
Yeah, that's great. That's the best part.
Yeah, I'm actually going to send in some advice about, like, I've got this shitty co-host coming back. How do I deal with that?
How do I drop it to him gently?
Yeah.
He can't say cool as shit anymore.
Yeah, I'm going to fucking do that. We've also got a Patreon. That's patreon.com/ComicConPod. If you want to support the show, jump on there.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck, it helps the show so much.
So much.
So
and it's so
damn much.
appreciated.
We actually bought like new pop filters for all our microphones because you guys helped out, and hopefully we sound like a little bit sexier.
Yeah, sexy.
Sounds so sexy. We need an R rating.
Ooh.
Damn, girl. And we've also got a Loot Crate going on. If you want some cool shit from Loot Crate, jump on there. You might get a discount. I promise. No, I didn't promise anything. I'm never going to read those terms and conditions, and I won't tell you what you get for it, but I'm pretty sure it's a discount.
I think it is.
Yeah.
I think. Try it out. Let us know.
Yeah, someone let us know. That would be fantastic. And don't forget, we've also got this super awesome deal over at Comic Blitz.
Yeah, jump on there.
Jump on there, use the promo code ComicConPod, and you'll get yourself a sweet little month free.
Month free.
Month free.
Like it's free. Come on.
Yeah. Do you know how many comics you could read in a month?
So many.
So many. And you know what? Like if you really want to and you want to be that guy, you could jump on there, get your free month, and then like just cancel.
Yeah, you could do that. I did that with Netflix. But I went crawling back like a fool.
Yeah. And then, maybe just make another email up and get another free month.
Infinite emails.
Yeah. That's how you can do it, guys. Like, I don't recommend it, but
No.
I mean, I'm not going to say you can't do it.
Yeah. Who are we to tell you what you can and can't do?
Yeah. You don't even have to check them out if you don't want to.
But please do.
But please do.
That'd be nice.
It'll be very nice. So anyway, that's it for another show.
Yeah.
As always, I've been Cade.
And I've been Amy.
And this has been Comic Confidential.
See ya.
Cheers.
Peace.
Peace. Fuck you, Troy.
Testes.